Take a deep breath. Hold it. In the few seconds of silence of that breath, an object in space just traveled 300 kilometers. That's the distance between London and Paris, crossed in the blink of an eye. We are talking about a velocity of 60 kilometers per second.
To my channel, I hope you're interested in the topics covered in today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Enjoy!
To put that in perspective, a high-velocity sniper bullet travels at barely 1 kilometer per second. This object is 60 times faster. At this speed, human reflexes are useless. If you were looking up at the sky, you wouldn't see a streak of fire or a warning sign. You would see the blue sky 1 millisecond, and be vaporized the next. The light from the explosion would arrive at your retina at the exact same moment as the shockwave that tears your body apart. Right now, in the frozen void beyond the orbit of Pluto, a dark, rocky beast is rushing toward the inner solar system. It generates no heat. It reflects almost no light. It is a cosmic ghost. We spend billions on defense systems, borders, and armies. But the universe has a weapon that ignores borders completely. This is the story of a 15-kilometer interstellar executioner. And unlike the movies, there is no last-minute countdown to save us. Let's break down the physics of this nightmare to truly understand what unstoppable means. Humans are proud of their speed records. The Parker Solar Probe touches high speeds, but only by using the sun's gravity. This object, however, carries its own raw momentum. At 60 kilometers per second, it is traveling at Mach 175. It moves so fast that it covers the distance from the Earth's surface to the bottom of the Mariana Trench in under 0.2 seconds. But velocity is only the trigger, mass is the hammer. This object is 15 kilometers wide. Imagine a solid rock bigger than the cruising altitude of a commercial airliner. If you placed it on the ground, its peak would pierce the stratosphere. The energy equation here is terrifying. In physics, kinetic energy scales with the square of velocity. Because this object is 3 times faster than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, it carries 9 times the energy per kilogram. The total impact force would be equivalent to 500 million megatons of TNT. Imagine detonating a nuclear bomb on every square kilometer of Earth's surface, all at once. That is the level of energy we are dealing with. It's not just an explosion, it is a planetary reset. Where does a monster like this come from? Most asteroids live in the belt between Mars and Jupiter, lazily orbiting the Sun. They are the safe ones. But an object moving at 60 kilometers per second is a rogue. It likely originates from the Oort Cloud, a spherical shell of icy debris light years away. Or worse, it is an interstellar object. We had a warning in 2017 with Oumuamua. That object proved that our galaxy is filled with debris ejected from dying star systems. These interstellar wanderers drift through the void for millions of years, invisible and cold, until they get caught in a star's gravity well. Here is the terrifying part. Because of its speed and angle, such an object would likely approach us from a blind spot, potentially from the direction of the sun, masked by the glare. We rely on telescopes to spot reflected sunlight. But a dark, metallic asteroid approaching from the daylight side would be practically invisible until it was mere hours away. No evacuation. No deflection mission. Just a sudden shadow, followed by the end of history. And then, 0 hour arrives. The entry into the atmosphere defies standard physics. The object is moving so fast that the air molecules in its path cannot move out of the way. They are violently compressed, triggering nuclear fusion level temperatures. A tunnel of superheated plasma, 20,000 degrees Celsius, bores through the atmosphere in a fraction of a second. When it strikes the Earth, the crust behaves like a liquid. The asteroid doesn't just stop, it punches a hole 30 kilometers deep, piercing straight through the crust and into the planet's molten mantle. A transient crater opens up, so large that you could fit the entire country of Belgium inside it. If it hits the ocean, the water is instantly flashboiled into superheated steam. A mega tsunami, kilometers high, radiates outward at the speed of a jetliner. But the water is the least of our problems. The impact ejects trillions of tons of molten rock and debris into suborbital space. This is the killing blow. As these rocks fall back to Earth all over the globe, they burn up in the atmosphere. The sky turns into a giant broiler grill. For hours, the surface temperature of the entire planet rises to over 200 degrees Celsius. Forests ignite spontaneously. Oceans boil. Anything not underground is cooked alive. Those who survive the firestorm will wake up to a dead world. As the fires die down, a thick, suffocating blanket of soot, ash, and sulfur wraps around the planet. The sun vanishes completely. Day becomes indistinguishable from night. The impact winter begins. Temperatures plummet globally. Photosynthesis stops immediately. The plants die within weeks. The food chain, which relies on the sun, collapses from the bottom up. First the herbivores starve, then the carnivores turn on each other. The atmosphere itself becomes toxic. The heat of the entry would have burned the nitrogen in the air, creating massive amounts of nitric acid. It rains acid for months, dissolving the shells of marine life and poisoning the soil for centuries. The ozone layer is stripped away, meaning that when the sun finally returns years later, its UV radiation will sterilize whatever is left. Humanity would be reduced to a few thousand survivors, huddled in deep geothermal bunkers, scavenging on recycled water and algae, waiting for a spring that might not come for 1,000 years. The universe is vast, beautiful, and uncaring. And at 60 kilometers per second, it reminds us just how fragile our existence really is. Keep watching the skies. Before you go, I have a question that might keep you awake tonight. If the government discovered that this object was hitting Earth in exactly 6 months, and they knew there was absolutely no way to stop it, would you want them to tell you? Would you want to spend your final days in chaos, or would you prefer to live in ignorance until the very end? And do you think an object moving at this unnatural speed is just a cosmic accident, or could it be a kinetic weapon sent by another civilization? Let me know your theories in the comments below. I read every single one of them. If this video gave you a new perspective on our place in the universe, please hit the like button. It truly helps the algorithm find other truth seekers like us. And for more deep dives into the mysteries of our reality, make sure to subscribe to Flux Truth and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next mystery. Stay curious.